Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your cousin Keith on the initial podcast. Life begins after 50. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you've all had a wonderful weekend up to this point. Oh man, I'm excited about what's going on. You would have seen my face on this initial podcast, but had a little technical difficulty with my camera. But I said, you know what, Keith? Things like that seem to be getting in my way, must mean I'm on the right path with this podcast here. So we're just going to keep it moving anyway. Oh, man, again, I'm so excited. Last night I attended the Snoop Dogg concert. Oh, man, it's interesting. He made a statement, and I didn't realize it last night. Snoop said, "Thank you all that been supporting me since 1992. I said, 1992? That makes Snoop Dogg over 50. Can we believe this? When we were doing our thing out there, I know I was doing my thing in the part of Central California called Fresno. I was a little out there in them streets, y'all. But, I'm not as much in the street. But I got me thinking about it. My God, that means if Snoop Dogg's over 50, that makes Dre, that makes Cube. Oh man, DJ Yella, that makes Too Short, probably close to that age. Wow, that for me was a golden era. That was a golden era. So we enjoyed ourselves. And it's funny, I'm a little sore this morning because I did dance a lot last night, and that's part of being life after 50. So we had just a wonderful time, my family and I, as we went out and reminisced and saw others, and it was an older crowd. Well, I take that back. There were more people probably in their 40s than there were 50 plus last night. But again, it was a wonderful show. If you get the chance to see Snoop, Double G, go check him out. He does put on a wonderful show. You do get your money's worth, along with Warren G. Oh, man. Did he not do his thing last night? So we really did appreciate both of those. Again, initial broadcast, life after 50, or I should say life begins after 50. And here on this show, we're going to talk about some topics, again, of some gravity, but also of some levity. As I scroll my Facebook feed and I'm looking at graduations, and again, congratulations to all of those of you that are graduating and your children. Again, it hit me last night, again, as I was scrolling through the feed, that a lot of the people I went to high school with, children, are now graduating from college. See, life does begin after 50. Now there's new beginnings. I remember it yesterday when I was in the middle of our football field in Merced, California, graduating from high school, and then 5 years later, from Fresno State. And now those same people that I hugged and said, we'll see you later, now are hugging their children as they are graduating from college. And again, I want to congratulate each and every one of those families. Like I always say, other than Christmas, graduations are the most wonderful time of the year. And I'm just so happy for each and every one of you. And then I'm also noticing some of you adults went back to school and are getting your degree after 50. Congratulations. I'm sure life happens to all of us, or it has happened to all of us, I should say. And the fact that you are going back, you probably had to postpone it due to sickness, due to just had to go to work to feed your family immediately. probably got married, life took its toll, took its turn, and you said, now it's my turn. So for those of you over 50, and I'm thinking of a couple of you right now, I won't embarrass you, but I am going to say congratulations. Now, for those of you who have been thinking about it, this next message is for you. You're going to be 50, 51, 52, 53, 59, 60 anyway. So you might as well be those ages with your diplomas. You're going to be there anyway. God says the same. You're going to live every day will turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years. So you're going to be the next year anyway. So you might as well be the next year with your diploma. Yes, I am an advocate of higher education. I believe, as my dad used to tell me, it is your license to compete in this world. It does not guarantee you success by any means, but it does allow you into the game. Now, of course, we know there's other options. We know there's some of us that hit the lotto. Some of us have tremendous athletic ability. Some of us have an ability to turn a small basement-based business into $1 billion enterprise. We know that's the case. And there are those wonderful, wonderful exceptions to the rule that you do not need a college degree to be well off financially. Again, using just these social media tools, you can be a YouTuber, you can be a Facebook influencer, an Instagram influencer. So there are other opportunities, there are other venues. But that does not negate the fact that when you go to college, it's also not about learning the information, but it should teach you how to think for yourself. So that's what it does. And it also builds a network as well. That's interesting. My college roommates and the people I've met at the higher level of education have helped me. Excuse me. And it's been a wonderful opportunity, again, to grow and develop my intellectual capability. And again, if you're thinking about it and you say, "Oh, I'm too old to go back to school," you are never, ever, never, ever too old to go back to school. I have some 50-year-olds in my classes at the local community college where I teach, and I must say, you all are the best students. You all are the best students. So again, as we dive into our initial podcast, ladies and gentlemen, again, what will this show be about? Again, life after 50. Life begins after 50. Because for many of us, life has taken a toll. Let's be quite candid and honest about it. Some of us have been married, divorced, married, divorced again, and married again. Some of us have made millions of dollars, lost millions of dollars, and on their way back. But we are wiser and smarter because of it. You know, our generation, we're kind of the tweener generation. We have kids in college that we're taking care of, and we also have parents that we're taking care of. So we're kind of in between us, handling and juggling. For if we're out of work, we're too old for some corporations, where they don't want that quote unquote OG. They don't want to pay us our value and our worth. Or then some of us may be working for some young whippersnapper right now. And this is like, what is this kid thinking? So we're kind of in a tweener age group. But for the most part, we are wiser. We're smarter. We have direction. We have something of value to add. And I want to talk about that on this show, that life does begin after 50. There is so much that is in us. I am, God willing, I will be 55 this next year. Double nickels. And I'm looking forward to it. Right now at 54 years old, I am taking a huge risk with trying to use this podcast, streamcast technology. I've started my second career now. I'm an adjunct professor at my local junior college. I'm also beginning some classes, not only in the classroom, but some online classes that I'm going to be developing and launching here in the next 90 days. So this podcast is also for me as I am reinventing myself at 54 years old. I have one college graduate and three currently in the cycle. I've had some ups and downs in my personal relationships with my marriage. There's no joke about it. We definitely have not been the Cosbys over the years, but we're still hanging in there. Is it difficult? Oh my God, yes. But this is what life is about. You try to figure it out along the way. Oh, by the way, if I'm too transparent for some of you, if I'm too open, if I'm too honest for some of you, this probably may not be the podcast for you. And I'm 50 now, it is what it is. It is what it is. So if I get onto a truth-telling binge, a truth-telling barrage, forgive me, but I'm 50 now, 54, going on 55, God say the same. If I'm still walking in fear and trepidation now, I will forever be walking in fear and trepidation. Those days are over with, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope they are over with for you as well. Ladies that are listening, I'm sure life is changing for you after 50. For some of my listeners out there, I've known, and I've told this joke before, I've known you from training bras to menopause. So I know you too are going through some transition and some changes, not only with your body, but also, you probably going through empty nesting. And we're going to have a show on empty nesting. I didn't realize how much I would miss my four beautiful, wonderful, and just brilliant daughters when they have left the nest. I didn't know how much of a gap that was going to leave for me. And we're going to talk about the empty nest, especially for a dad with daughters. It was interesting that, watching them out there and talking to people. And I know it's a dangerous, and as Teddy Pendergrass said, it's a cold, cold world out there. But, we as dad, we want to be the protector. We want to be the hovering. We want to, somebody get out of line. We want to be able to say something and grab somebody by the neck immediately. But now that my girls are like, Daddy, you don't have to do that. So I was wrestling and still wrestling with that. But we will talk about that. You will get that very vulnerable side of me as I talk about my daughters, the love of my life. Again, authenticity will be a value of this show, and we will be having guests on as well, and they have been duly warned to tell the truth. Again, we're over 50 now. There's no need for us to play games and act like stuff don't go down that does go down. And hopefully the value that we bring from our conversations is that maybe there'll be somebody on their way that have not hit the half century mark. And maybe there'll be some wisdom imparted that they will be able to learn from our lumps, take a lesson from the hurdles we've had to overcome, sidestep the ditches that we have walked and fallen into. So that's just a little bit about what the show is going to be. I plan to have some fun on these podcasts like that. We'll take a topic, dive into it. And again, I know our listening audience, we have no more than 10 to 15 minutes, so I won't take all of your day. But when we do get into some topics, because we will, I haven't forgotten about Buffalo. I have not forgotten about Buffalo. We're going to talk about the bigotry and the racism and the xenophobia that this country refuses to get rid of. Don't get me wrong. We gonna go there. As I said in another video, when I say what I have to say, how I'm going to say it, and to whom that needs to hear it, we may not roll like we used to roll. And as I talked about, we'll just have to see each other in the kingdom. But we just going to keep it moving. And, They always say when you throw a rock in a pack of dogs, the one that holler is the one that got hit. So if you get hit, just get hit. It is what it is because I'm sick of it, family. I am absolutely sick of it. Those of us over 50, do you realize, especially those of us of color, I'm going to be even more specific. Black people, we are still battling some of the same issues our great grandparents fought. America, what's wrong with you? Oh, we may can sit at a counter or live in a neighborhood or eat what we want to eat. But Buffalo proves, Mother Emanuel proves that every time we take a step forward in this country, somebody wants to pull us back. We're not getting the lesson. So you can believe you me. We're going to have this conversation. And I have lined up some experts from all over the country to tell us why. Why are we repeating the same mess over and over and over again? You may not like what they got to tell you, but I've given them permission to tell you. So with that, that's all I have right now. We're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to giggle. We're going to shout. We may cry. You may flip me off at the screen. That's okay. It's all right. Because life begins after 50, y'all. Stuff we used to put up, we ain't going to put up with no more. We should have grown. We should have matured. And I believe everybody that are listening, the listening audience is there. And also, if you have a topic you want me to discuss, conversation you would like to have, you know how to get hold of me. You all know how to get hold of me. So, all right, let's have some fun. So I will close the podcast out for now. And until next time, peace.